late night, they ain't getting no rest. Work so hard, people think I'm obsessed. Cream at the crop, won't settle for no less. Headed to the top, I made it so focused. Yeah, gorilla of the jungle, I've been beating on my chest. I learned from the struggle, it was all just a test.
Hey guys, and welcome back. So today I want to talk about two assets that I'm interested in when it comes to real world assets or tokenization of real world assets. So what I'm talking about is Chainlink and ONDO. They're two tokens that I already have a position in, but I'm interested in adding to that position as well. So looking at the high time frame chart, we're going to see where might be some nice entries here. So we've seen we had this kind of big long downtrend here, this bear market, and then we had a big consolidation phase. You can see, look at this sideways consolidation in through here before we started our new bull market trend here. So now we have this upsloping trend line acting as support 4 times here, and looking, we do have a decent amount of support. What we see is we're attempting this breakout of this downtrend right through here, similar to what we saw here. So we're going to look for that higher low retest and hopeful like for this entry. You know, that's why I say always to be patient. Even if we look here, every single downtrend, you know, this was a big long drawn out downtrend because it was a bear market consolidation, whereas this was kind of a bull market consolidation. So during the bull markets, we can expect those corrections to be a little bit more swift, not quite as drawn out as what we see in the bear markets. So we also recognize, though, there is a little bit more risk that this could be the potential end of a cycle. So that has to be something that we're aware of. One thing we're going to watch is if these kind of support levels down here break, that's going to be a warning sign to me. So we'll have to watch that. But what we can see right now, we're just breaking out. We've hit this 200-day moving average acting as resistance. So we see we could come back, I think, retest this lower area here where we have Fibonacci support. We've also got a big confluence of our moving averages here. So we've got the 200-week moving average, this green line. We've got the 50-day moving average. And then we've also got, like I said, this Fibonacci support zone also acting as prior support as well back through here. So a little bit of horizontal support. So looking for a potential entry here on Chainlink. You know, you're looking kind of in that $14 down to about $12 range. We've also got this VRVP point of control rate in through here. So like I said, a lot of confluence of support. If we're going to bounce and continue on a sustainable run up, I think we do get that bounce somewhere around this region here. So that's what we're going to target. Looking to add to our position. We did get in at, I think, at about $15. I'd have to double check the average, but something around there. So we're sitting in a decent little bit of profit here, but we would look to potentially add to our position here and maybe even protecting it with a stop loss below these lows. But there is a lot of support right down through here between $8 and kind of $9. That actually dates back multiple cycles here. So that's just what I mean. There's a lot of support here for Chainlink. It's a really it's a great asset. It's the most used oracle. A lot of different chains are interoperated with Chainlink. They are going to be one of the bigger players when it comes to RWA. So, and they're a lot, they're tried and true, you know, trusted. They've been around for a long time. So I feel a little bit safer taking investments like this, knowing that there is that fundamental strength behind the asset, and then as well as the opportunity with that kind of continued push to tokenization of assets and securities, which would be pretty interesting because we all know the most annoying thing about the stock market is that it closes on weekends. You know, it sucks sometimes. It's nice to be able to trade assets 24/7, especially when you are starting to get all kinds of volatility on the weekends and you're not able to react to it until the market opens. It can be a little bit disheartening sometimes. So having the ability to trade stocks and bonds 24/7 would be pretty interesting, and it would be cool to see. And I think Chainlink and ONDO are two really good options to kind of capitalize on that market. So Chainlink here, like I said, a higher time frame, you know, not being too aggressive. We're just waiting for that consolidation here. Let's take a look how our indicators look. So our Bitcoin pair strength, we are holding the lows for now, but we're kind of trending down a little bit here on the weekly. So we haven't really pushed up into that green like we did back here. So that's something we want to watch for. And we also saw a similar pattern here on the breakout. We did start to print these red dots before before we actually broke out. So we might see something similar here where we come back, correct a little bit, maybe correct a little bit more here, and then start to turn up. So paying attention to that. Our vortex indicator looks pretty good here with a kind of a bullish setup, but we want to see this blue line break above the red. DMI right now, we do have the bullish trend being favored, but it's a weaker trend and that could change. So we'll continue watching this for now. RSI and MACD coming from, the MACD is a little bit oversold here. RSI pretty neutral. So like I said, nothing really crazy here jumping out at me right away. I think we just wait patiently, either see a confirmed further breakout, and then we can readjust our Fibonacci levels, look for that higher low as well, enter there, and then ride it to the upside with a protected kind of stop loss there, making sure that if we break that structure to the downside, that we are out of that position before experiencing the rest of it. So we'll take a quick look at the daily, see if there's anything different here. Here we're actually kind of seeing the bullish momentum slowing down here, so we see this ADX line curling back over. Same thing, nothing too enticing on the Bitcoin pair strength indicator right now. RSI and MACD are looking a little bit more oversold, and we are hitting a bunch of resistance here. We can see we're kind of stuck between pivot high and pivot high resistance and support here. So watching this zone, I do think we are likely to kind of just chop in this region here. So looking for our entries down here, and then we can ride that to the upside, continuing to trail those stop losses up as the position moves. And then so we'll flip over to ONDO now. This is the next one. I would consider this slightly higher, well, not slightly, I would consider it higher risk. It's a newer token this cycle, so Chainlink is pretty old. It's been around multiple cycles. Lots of different chains use it as their oracle. It's very important for interchain operability. So Chainlink, I don't have any doubt that they're going to be around in the next 5 to 10 years. Something like ONDO, you can't be too sure, but they're making a lot of the right moves, the right partnerships. JPMorgan, integrations with BlackRock, with World Liberty Finance, as I previously mentioned. So we can't really ignore the fact that they're probably going to be one of the bigger players if RWA continues to take off and we get this sustainable run up in altcoins. So where is a good opportunity to buy ONDO? Right now we see that this upsloping trend line has held through the cycle from pretty much launch. Here acting as support all through here. We did deviate a little bit below here, but we also see this strong support through here. We're above our 50-day, we're above those lower time frame moving averages, but we did get rejected by the 200-day, similar to what we saw with Chainlink actually. So that's what I kind of always talked about. We get these big pumps up, we don't chase them. We're actually in this position. We bought some spot ONDO and we bought some ONDO swing trading, and both of those are in profit or have realized profit. So now we're just looking to build that position, reinvest those profits back into the spot position, and then ride it hopefully to that continued upside. So right now we're just going up here, and we take a look at our indicators. RSI coming down to that neutral territory, resetting a little bit. We do see the excuse me, the bullish trend is still favored on the vortex indicator and the directional movement index for now, but we want to see this line hold above that ADX line for that continued upwards trend, and we want to see that ADX line curling up, pushing it upwards above 25 to really confirm that strong trend on the daily. So for now, we see that if we look, we're at this Fibonacci support level. We did bounce from there. We can take a look at that low time frame. So looking a little bit more oversold here on the RSI and the MACD. We are getting kind of, excuse me, looks like a slight bullish divergence here. We see the lower low on the price action and the higher low on the RSI right here. So very small bullish divergence on the 4-hour. We did get a nice big buy candle right through here. Look at that big wick up, selling off though, and we're kind of just back into this downwards consolidation. So we see this all the time. We're just in lower highs and lower lows for now. So what we need to see is a reversal of this on the 4-hour. So if we come up, take out this high or this high right here, put in a higher low, watch for something like this, and then wait, and then the next the most probable move move could be coming up and tagging this support or this resistance zone again. So looking for that opportunity there. Not rushing into anything right now. We did come back, tag this previous pivot high resistance, which is now support, and it was also this 618 Fibonacci from this swing low to this high. So did get a nice bounce here from that Fibonacci zone. Watch for that higher low potential entry there, and then hopeful continuation. Let's take, like I said, on the momentum indicators, we do see that that DMI is not looking the best right now, kind of losing momentum on the low time frame, and the vortex indicator also, that we get that red line breaking above, so not the best in terms of trend and momentum. We'll see. I don't know if we're going to be able to continue this pattern for now. We might just be due to come back, retest this 618, and potentially even come down and test the 786 zone down here. So looking to potentially add to ONDO, you know, closer down in this region here from the 618 down to this horizontal support zone, and then we see we've got a lot of buy orders stacked down here. So definitely could build a position for ONDO anywhere from 80 cents up to about 94 cents or so, but I would do it on a dynamic DCA basis. So really just layering in as the price drops more and more, you kind of increase those buys and get a nice adjusted cost basis out of it. Otherwise, waiting for that confirmation of that trend reversal, and then we can look to enter, and we're going to have a similar entry to the current price, but I always say there's always less risk when you wait for confirmation. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.